What's up guys, it's Untitled Studios here, and this is another episode of Vacuum Saved. And this is the Facebook Marketplace edition of Vacuum Saved. And since all these vacuums are ones that they're clean enough to where I think it's totally fine to use them indoors and not use them outdoors, I'm going ahead and doing this video inside. With, of course, a fan on, the window open, and my lovely air purifier, since it is hot. Anyways, we got these 5 vacuum cleaners. I guess kind of like a little set, and then another one, and then 2 other ones. These are all kind of high-end-ish vacuum cleaners. Obviously, you can see the brands. They're all, Oreck, Phantom, Dyson. So, the only one that kind of is in Facebook Marketplace we'll go ahead and start with, but it still kind of is, so I think it still counts, because I still acquired it through Facebook Marketplace, it just wasn't through a listing. So this Dyson Dc33 belonged to a friend of mine, and she needed a vacuum, so I sold her the Bissell Pet Hair Eraser, because she just got new carpet installed, mainly because she had to get a bunch of her carpet replaced, because she had to get a bunch of her walls replaced, because a tree fell on her house, and, busted a couple holes in her ceiling, so the company had to come and replace carpet, replace walls, or, well, not replace walls, but, like, fix walls and all that sort of stuff. And, yeah, so, she also conveniently was needing a new vacuum, because, her old vacuum supposedly wasn't doing very well. This is the old vacuum, so I sold her the Bissell Pet Hair Eraser for $40, and she gave me her old Dyson Dc33. So, and this is the one that had all the powder plugged up in it, so she used the carpet maintenance powder on it, which isn't very good. And I let her know, I'm like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, because that kind of wrecks your vacuums, and she's like, noted. So, that's the Dc33. And next we have the DC-18. I just did the video on this yesterday, so obviously I acquired this from a guy, drove the next town over to pick it up, had it listed for $100, pretty good condition, hardly ever used, put it in storage since bought it in 2006, missing the stair tool, but does have the combo tool. Guy's supposedly, allegedly trying to find the stair tool, haven't found it yet, so don't have the stair tool. But one thing, at first I thought this was a custom fitting, but no, this actually is the same fitting as the DC-07 and DC-14, so I can use all my other attachments on it, which is nice. I'm not sure about the 15, though. I'm pretty sure the 15 uses its own connector, but I haven't tried it, so I could be wrong. But yeah, so this 18 works good, filter's dry now, cleaned out the brush roll, and it's perfect. So I didn't do a video on this as is when I got it, because it honestly looked pretty much the same. The only thing that I did to it is I scrubbed off some of the paint marks, and I cleaned the hair out of the brushes, which most of it weren't even in the actual brushes like here. They were in the end caps, so you wouldn't be able to see that anyway. And I was kind of worried because at first the brush wouldn't spin in the last video, but I pressed the reset button and it was fine, so hopefully it'll spin up just fine in this video too. Next we got this Phantom Twister. Now the Phantom Twister is one there, I don't really see many videos of it on YouTube. In fact, I don't think I've seen any other than like old HSN demos. But I got this from a woman who I think her mother or something worked for Eureka, like a Eureka plant that's a few towns over, and so she had this Phantom, and she was selling for $60. I was going to buy it for $60 alongside a Dirt Devil Envision specifically, since that was like one of my childhood vacuums. But in the process of me trying to buy it, she sold it to someone else, and then this one she still had, and finally I was able to meet up with her, and there's some damage on it that she didn't disclose in the listing, so I talked her down to 40 instead of 50, because before I met she said I could do 50 on it for you, and I noticed that there's some damage on it. This upper cord hook is completely snapped off. There's a little bracket on the back for the hose that's snapped, and also it's missing some of the attachments. She told me the brush tool is missing. The extension wand's original. This crevice tool is not the right crevice tool, so it's missing the crevice tool, although I could understand them saying it has a crevice tool if it fits. And it's missing the dusting brush and the stair tool. So she said it's only missing the dusting brush, it's also missing the stair tool. So, and also this filter cage, the tabs are broken off of it. So the tabs on all sides are just snapped clean off. So, and this HEPA filter is kind of grubby. So for 40 bucks, I mean, because of how rare these things are, I'm pretty sure that's not, you know, a horrible price, but still more than what I wanted to pay. Although I guess I can't really complain because, you know, people also don't want to pay $800 for an Animal Crossing Switch right now, but jackasses are driving up the price on that. So, not saying that people are doing the same thing with these Phantoms. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but, you know, that's annoying either way. However, you know, I don't think this would fall off with normal vacuuming. I'm hoping that I could find this part. My search on eBay has so far found 0 luck. The brush roll on this appears to be good. Actually, I forgot. One person said they wanted to see the filters in all of these. So I just showed this filter and this Dyson DC33. I washed this filter, so... But before this, it had a little clump of hair on it, as well as a little bit of hair in the cyclones. There also was a feather wrapped around the dirt container, which I set over there somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. So there's that. Obviously, you can see the brush roll on the 18, but on the 33, since you want to... Nope, it's not in there. So you can see the filter's plugged up with that powdery stuff. And then if you want to see the HEPA filter, looks like that. And yeah, so that's all the filters. This Oreck bag is like right there. And then for the brush rolls, since you all want to see the brush rolls, there's the DC33 brush roll. The cord's going to fall off of this. What was it? Oh yeah, by the way, the spring, the dirt container is also broken. I forgot to mention that. Here's the Phantom brush roll. So, spins pretty good. It's hard to focus on that because it's all black. The belt seems good in this, but we'll see when I run it. Another thing is that, another problem this has that was not disclosed, there's a spring that is bouncing around in the dirt container. You can see it right there. See that little spring right there? I don't know where that spring is from, but whenever I open this, which you have to use 2 hands to open this, which is frustrating, but that's not really a defect, it's just the design of this stupid vacuum. You have to press 2 buttons to get this off, and it's impossible to do with 1 hand. There we go. So this dirt container, you can see there's a twister thing in here, right? That's what, you know, does filtration. When you open this bin, it falls right out. There is nothing holding this in place. Meaning that anytime you empty this, this is going to fall right into the dumpster. And you're going to have to fish it out every single time. Now, I know that that's not supposed to be like that. And of course, then you have to like hold it like this to get this to center itself. And then you can close this lid. And you can still hear that spring bouncing around in there. So, oh yeah, and then there's also a filter down here with dirt and a musty smell coming from the motor. And then that's what the filter looks like. Covered in hair. Though I understand that these filters sometimes are really hard to clean, and I'd imagine sourcing replacements for this are pretty difficult. So I'm not too angry about that. Because, you know, I've sold vacuums like that before where there's still a tiny little bit of hair on the filter because it just won't clean out properly, and I can't find replacement filters for it. So, that's no big deal. Then this Oreck XL2 Ultra C-Lock Hypoallergenic Plus. That's a mouthful. You've probably seen these before from the infomercials. You know, these come in like 3 different colors. There's obviously the red version, which I like. Normally I like blue and black, but I really like this red one. Excuse me. And this Oreck XL compact canister, which I went back and watched the commercial, and this is the one that goes to it. So, by the way, I didn't mention the DC-18 was $100, the Phantom was $40, DC-33 was free with purchase of with sell another vacuum. These 2 Orecks and all of these bags, $20. So that's great. Guy wanted 25. I talked him down to 20. Apparently his and then whenever he met, he told me that I believe his mother passed away or something to that effect, and she either passed away or she didn't need it anymore. I remember because it was someone's old house that they moved out of, and I'm trying not to sound like heartless or anything, but I honestly just don't remember. But either way, this belonged to someone who took very good care of it, just didn't need it anymore for whatever reason. And again, to check the brush roll on the Oreck, which the brush roll on this is good. Someone, again, clearly took good care of this. You can see the brush rolls in good shape. Bristles are pretty soft. It could probably use a new brush roll, but still good. Still has the extra belt down here, so that's good. By the way, I don't know how to serial date an Oreck, but I'll show that. The Phantom, I already checked the Phantom. There is no, there's nothing on the Phantom that would show a serial date. Oh yeah, this is 299th day of 2006. Oh, perfect. That's easy. That's just like the Bissell's, so that's really easy to serial date. The DC-18 is December 2006. The DC-33, according to its date code, is like 2003 or something, which is definitely not accurate. Yeah, that says 3703. There's no way this was made in 2003. It's a DC-33. If this was 2003, it would have to be a DC-07, at least in the U.S. Maybe a yeah, because we didn't get any other Dysons other than the 07 until 2004 when we got the 14, and then we started getting the canisters. So yeah, so that's the Oreck, made in New Orleans, Los Angeles? No, Louisiana. I'm an idiot. And then the Phantom. Again, you can see that little broken tab I was talking about. The Phantom just says Phantom vacuum cleaner. Household use only, although some of these were commercially rated. At least according to the old promotional material. Made in China. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of information here. Just says Phantom vacuum cleaner, model FM741H. Whatever that means. And yeah, not a whole ton about it. I'm just hoping this thing runs. The girl did say that if there was any issues that I could contact her, but I've heard that before. So we'll see. So which vacuum should I run first? I guess since I already ran the DC-18 and I know it works, I guess we'll start on that high note. So we'll start off with that. It's going to be cords all over the place, but that's okay. It's kind of weird. I would have expected this to have a darker colored cord like the 33 does, but it has the lighter colored cord. Move that out of the way so we have a bit more space. And there is a bit of a weird wind down, but it's only whenever the cyclone assembly is connected, so I'm pretty sure the cyclone assembly needs to be cleaned out, because that sound only resonates whenever the vacuum is on with the assembly attached. And I remember I watched a video recently of someone saying, "You're never supposed to clean these out," which is really stupid. Obviously, the cyclone assemblies need to be cleaned out on I'm not going to say a regular basis, but sometimes they do need to be cleaned out in order to restore suction, eliminate odors, and anyone who doesn't think that has never worked on a Dyson before, at least not one with that specific issue. I think you all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, so wind that up. I don't know why I'm showing this. This is obviously really boring, but since I've already started, I might as well go ahead and finish winding this up. And I don't like how the cord ends right here, so I don't really have a solid way to clip it to anything. So I'll just do it like that. Alright, and of course I gotta move this out of the way. Well, I guess, the Phantom's right here, so I'll do the Phantom. And see if this thing catches fire. I have very low hopes for this thing, honestly. Because of how poor condition it's in. And it sucks because that issue with the dirt bin means I never want to use it, and I probably wouldn't even want to sell it. So this is probably just a waste of money. But I figured you guys would want to see a Phantom, one of these newer Phantoms that nobody seems to do a video on. So let's see if this thing catches fire. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Alrighty then. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Oh, that sounds rough on the wind down. Huh. Well, I mean, it cleaned up a little bit of dirt, so this thing seems to function pretty good. I didn't even realize it has a headlight, and also it has a really, really bad dog smell. Oh, I can really smell it now. But it functions. This thing with the filter is just ridiculous. Like, you're telling me you never turn this on and realize that thing pops right out? Yeah, so like that's clearly, that's obviously, see, because I remember I was thinking to myself whenever I checked it out. I was like, oh, well, if I have it reclined, then it will probably, you know, stay on. Except, no, it won't, because the air is going to blow it right off. So there's no way that she didn't somehow catch that's not going to stay on. So that's just kind of bad, how that's just deliberately left out information. So that's the Phantom. So we'll move on to the other Dyson. Another weird thing about that Phantom is that she, unless I'm thinking of someone else, she said that, oh, well, it's still a good deal because these cost $200 brand new, the Phantoms. And I'm kind of like, I mean, you got a point, but the only problem is that's kind of a lie because they don't sell these brand new. Unless you're saying that on the rare occasion that someone finds one brand new, they go for $200, which I'm sure is true. Maybe that's what she's trying to say. Maybe she's, like, more knowledgeable on Phantoms than I thought. I don't know, I guess. I mean, I'm assuming that's what she means. I'm assuming she means, like, oh, well, if you manage to find one new, then they're probably going to cost at least $200. Which I'm sure is pretty accurate. But yeah, because I know used ones on eBay go for, like, $150. So, you know, like, I saw the exact same one on eBay for, like, $100 or something like that. $150 with shipping. So yeah, here's the DC33. Well, one thing I can say about that powder is that at least it makes the vacuum smell nice. Kinda. But, oh, never mind, that after smell. That motor doesn't sound very healthy. It sounds kind of whiny, but I don't know, maybe that's just the HEPA filter being dirty? That's probably the motor. One thing that's interesting is that its performance is very good because in the time that I wiped off the front of it, I was kind of fiddling with it, and it had the same issue that a lot of Dysons have where this base doesn't stick to the floor. And all I did is I just twisted the internal hose a little bit, and the internal hose is still springy enough to where you can see, like, when I lift it up, like, it pushes the head up. So that hose is fixed. So it is maintaining proper... Oh, man, that plastic sound. They really cheapened the 33, didn't they? Yeah. But you can tell, like, it was sucking up the carpet because I actually fixed that internal hose. Just by kind of tweaking it a little bit. And now it performs great because it's actually adjusting to the floor properly, which a lot of these earlier Dysons 33s, especially the 07s and 14s, have this issue where the internal hose kind of sogs out over time and doesn't stick it to the floor. I know General One did a video recently on his DC07 full kit that he's had for like a decade now, and he commented on how, well, this thing is just doing terribly. And I told him, it's like, hey, if you look at the video, because he showed it from the side, you could see that this portion wasn't sealed to the floor, and it was kicking stuff out behind it because the brush wasn't attached to the floor. And I told him, hey, replace the internal hose or just flip it around, and sometimes that'll do it too. So in the case of this 33 is new enough to where just flipping that hose was able to completely fix that issue, and now it's working just fine. So it just needs a clean. I need to clean all that powder out of it, and it'll be good to go. You know, wash the filters, clean out the cyclone assembly, and, you know, just kind of wipe the rest of it down, and it should be good. It shouldn't really need anything else. The clutch may be going bad in it. Does that sound that I was hearing, could that have been the clutch and not the motor? I'm not sure. Usually when I hear that sound, I assume it's the clutch, but I could be wrong. I'll have to look more into that and see if the brush is spinning properly and everything. But yeah, it is pretty much functional though. Maybe it's not ideally functional because maybe the clutch needs work, but it definitely is in a better state than it was in. And it's certainly, even at this point, it's still certainly usable and serviceable. So that's the DC33. One thing that's odd is that Dyson changed the plug on these for some reason. Obviously, the other DC33 had a standard, like, US plug. This has, like, a UK, like, knockoff style plug, where, actually, this looks more like maybe Australian? I don't know. Because it had, like, this style plug, this is like a European style plug, only with the American prongs. This is really weird. But, it has the same sort of little sockets, but instead of it having a molded clip, it just has a separate clip that's attached to the cable, which is really weird. I know, obviously, this is how the UK Dysons have always been, because this is just kind of how UK plugs work. You can't really stick a plug on those. You can't really stick a clip on those giant plugs. But, this sucks, and I hate this a lot. Because, like, one of the things that I like better about our US plugs is that they have molded plugs, or they have molded clips. They don't have this nonsense. Like, look at this. It's a molded clip. The actual end of the plug has a clip, and you clip it. It's super simple. This, what is this? That's stupid. So as you can see, I have to wind the cord in the wrong direction to get this plug to actually sort of do its job, which is pretty annoying. Next, we got this Oreck XL compact canister vacuum. Came with this little attachment, which I believe is for the blower function, which is really nice. This thing has a blower function. When was this one made? Does this not have the same day code as the uprights? No, it does. 25th day of 2005. So this canister is significantly older than the upright. Well, it's a year older than the upright, almost 2 years. So that's really interesting. I don't know if maybe the upright they just happened to be manufactured at different times, and but they were still sold as a set. That's interesting. Well, and it has all the attachments. Well, I think, and I think it's supposed to come with a couple wands and a floor tool, I think, but I'm sure I can get those. So it's got the stair tool, it's got the brush tool, it's got the crevice tool, and it's got this tiny little brush tool, which I don't know if this actually goes to it, but it seems to fit, so. That bag might be getting full. Oh, it's clogged. Oh, well, that'll do it. Guess I'll unclog that. Bag doesn't appear to be too full. Alright, so that's I got a request to do this one specifically, since someone saw it in the last video. So there's the Oreck XL compact canister, whatever you call it. I think someone said it was called the Oreck XL BB. I don't know why they'd call it that, or if that's what it's called. No, doesn't that mean big black? It's kind of tiny, but it is black. Anyways, this got awkward, so I'm going to go ahead and plug in this Oreck. And this one I'm also pretty excited about because I've always wanted to get my hands on a 2-speed Oreck. Now initially my plan was, whenever I got both of these, my plan was I was going to keep the upright and sell the canister for 20 bucks, and then essentially in the end get the upright for free. But I actually really like the canister, so I'm probably going to keep it as well, since that would actually be really useful for cleaning out the car or using it as a blower function. So I think I'm actually going to keep that canister. So let's try this Oreck. So there's some sort of weird noise. I don't know if that's coming from the brush roll or from the fan or what, but I'm surprisingly impressed with this thing. This thing is just, after so many years of using heavy vacuums and just being disappointed with how heavy and cumbersome vacuums are, this is such a breeze. Like, it's just legitimately, like, so nice to use. Because I'm so used to using heavy vacuums, I just feel horrible after using them because they just make my back just feel like garbage. But this is just really nice, and I'm really happy to have this Oreck. It's kind of funny because I wanted the DC-18 for the longest of time, but honestly, I think I'm probably the happiest about getting this Oreck because it was the best deal out of this whole thing, and it's probably the nicest machine, at least to use. It's got that helping hand handle, which is really nice. I kind of have the cord in the other in my hand as well. So, does this actually have a cord clip? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't have a cord clip. I thought some of these did. Not the Dysons do either. Or actually, I don't think any of these have a cord clip except the Phantom. So, yeah, this is nice, and the headlights still work too. So that's really nice. And it's got the 2 speeds. I've always wanted a 2-speed Oreck. I've always wanted this Oreck specifically, and it's kind of nice to have one. I still would like an XL21, but honestly, you know, I'm fine. I don't need that many Orecks. If I have this and an XL21, I'll be happy. I still have the Oreck Classic, and I haven't done any work on it, but since I got a ton of extra CC bags now, I can get that working. And I'll probably do another video, since a lot of people are asking for me to run vacuums that I fixed. I'm probably going to do a video pretty soon where I run all the vacuums that I've repaired. Just show them all up and running. So I may do that. That would include, you know, the Power Force Compact, the other Power Force, the Wind Tunnel T-Series, you know, stuff like that. Well, maybe probably the T-Series. Of course, if I'm selling the machine, I kind of don't want to get it too dusty, but I can still run it for a couple seconds. But yeah, so that's the episode. I don't even know what episode this is. Is this episode 14, I think? I could be wrong. Of Vacuum Saved, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, by the way, I counted the bags, the CC bags. There's like, I think 8 bags in there, because there's like one pack of like 6, another pack of like 2 or 3, something like that. And I also have another CC bag up here, which is the bag I rescued from that one Oreck I got off a friend of mine, along with the Power Force Compact that's completely busted and useless. So I'll probably just end up chucking that thing. But yeah, unless I can maybe use the handle and the hood for something, or the bag, but I doubt it. Or maybe I can, I don't know. I'll probably just leave it outside, and then if I need the parts and they're there, and if someone steals it, then who cares? Anyways, this does need a little bit of a clean. You can see there's some dust in the back here. I probably need to pull this bag off and wash it, but it's functional, it works, so I'm happy with it, and both the headlights work too. Oh, that doesn't sound, the brush roll sounds, I don't know if it's the brush roll or the belt or the fan. I'll have to look into that, but it does work. And does it have wheels on the back? It kind of does. You can kind of push it. That's one thing I don't like about these, that the wheels are so deep within the system you can't really roll it. But then again, you know, you can just pick it up super easily. 8 pounds. Anyways, this is Untitled Studios signing out. I hope you guys enjoyed this vacuum save video. Hopefully it was interesting. Hopefully this room doesn't give you, you know, OCD like it does for me. Anyways, that's a bunch of vacuums that I've gotten. Oh, look at how disorganized that is. But yeah, so that's all the vacuums that I've saved from Facebook Marketplace. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope you found some cool vacuums yourselves, or whatever else it is that you're interested in. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for, and I hope everyone stays safe and happy. So anyways, this is Untitled Studios signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.